Hello Logan, your desert wanderer is complete. For those of you watching who are not Logan, let me break down what I did to this lightsaber. So he just wanted a Proffie board, no extra features. I have a stock V3, not wired up for anything special, no blade detection, no independently wired neopixel LEDs, just straight up Proffie board. Now I took this as an opportunity to do something that I've been meaning to do for a while, but no, it's rolling away. But I didn't have any good lightsabers to do it with, and that is a full tutorial on how to build a lightsaber, because all my other lightsabers that I've been building are a little bit more complicated than I wanted to show you guys. This one is just the right amount of simple with a little bit of complicated with the thin neck in order for me to do a decent tutorial on how to build a lightsaber. So you guys can look forward to that. It's probably going to come out in a while, because I still have about 4, 5, 6 lightsaber build videos I need to fully edit and complete before then. It's going to be very tricky, but you know, it'll get there eventually. So anyways, let's go into the lightsaber and how it works. So here's the chassis, made by Goth3 Designs. You can see it here if the camera is going to focus. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Tends to like to focus once I zoom in. So we've got the Proffie board, we have the buttons. I have this one being the activation button and this one being the auxiliary button. If you want to switch it, you can just go into the config file. I have it on the SD card for you. I did minor changes to this config here, so the one that you have might not work. But if you want to switch the auxiliary and the activation buttons, there's a line at the very, very bottom where you can switch it. And if you have any questions on how to do other stuff, always go to the Facebook group, the Proffie Facebook group, because they have a ton of answers there, a ton of people who can help you out if you need to. But other than that, there's really nothing to keep in mind. This is a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost bass speaker. This is a stock V3 neopixel connector. If it'll focus. There we go. Got your kill switch here. And that is that. We have your battery. Negative is towards the speaker. Positive is towards the neopixel connector. This is loaded with the config file that you sent me with the slight modifications I did to it to make it work. And then I also have the all the fonts on there, of course, that you sent me as well.
Hello there.
I have it on, I think, probably 1350 volume, but you can raise it all the way up to like 3000 maximum, but I recommend not doing anything more than 2000 or 2500 just in case, even though these are incredibly sturdy speakers, so it's not the highest risk of breaking them. But still, I don't think you need to go any further than like 2500, so you can adjust that in the config file as you want. But I found that with this lightsaber in particular, it's very, very loud, because all of this space allows for really good resonance to come out of the backside of the lightsaber with the speaker holes, with the sound venting. So it's quite loud. Other than that, you know how to work this lightsaber probably better than I do, based on the fact that you made the config file, so I'll leave that all up to you on how you do it. I'll just be showing you the basics on how to operate the lightsaber, so this is not going to take very long at all. I greased up all of the threads here to make it nice and easy to unscrew. I like to unscrew just the pommel section. There we go. And then put this in. Make sure you line the buttons up with the buttons on the side here. I also added a slightly longer screw underneath the clamp here to go in this guide rail here, or this guide channel. That way when you put the pommel on, if it does turn this chassis inside the lightsaber, it'll only turn it a little bit and not enough to screw up the buttons. So you push it all the way in. Screw this on. Bottom button's activation, top button is auxiliary. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's quite loud, even though it's on 1350. There we go, we got the really nice blade plug. This is running the Proffie OS 6.8, I believe, which is the first time that I've used it. It's actually a lot simpler than I thought it would be, so I'll probably be doing that for all future Proffie builds. So I'll have to update my config file for all of that. But it's pretty awesome. Very excited to try it out in the future. Let's go over how to put a blade in. So you just unscrew this section. You take off the display emitter, take out the blade plug, and then you put on the blade retention emitter, which has the slightly longer collar at the top in order to have a better blade depth. Then you have 3 retention screws in there. Takes a 1-inch blade. Here we go, I have it here. I always like to push it down all the way before screwing it in. That way I know that the connection is complete and it's not wobbly. So you just gotta tighten each set screw. There we go. And it's not like you can, but you're gonna want to avoid unscrewing this next section. I couldn't even do it by hand, so I don't think you'll have any issues of not unscrewing this section, but you don't want to unscrew the emitter here or any of the neck because it could put some tension on the wires on the inside. Sorry about that. That's my rabbit drinking water. Oops. Knocking things over. So it has all of the fonts on here that you
Master Kenobi?
You wanted me to add.
And when you have your strength, I will help you on your way.
There's quite a lot of them, so I'm not sure I'll go through every single one of them, but
Ben, Obi-Wan. So what I told you was...
I try to go to the different colors.
At last we will count to...
So it seems like you have a long button press, which was interesting to get used to, where you press the activation and then you hold it for a few seconds in order to turn it off. It's even longer than on a CFX, so it's quite interesting to get used to. So I'm sure you know what you're doing when you set up the config files and such, all the parameters. Looks like this cover tech is a little bit loose. I'm going to tighten it here. If I have the appropriately sized, there we go. Just tightening that up. There we go. The twist activation is a bit interesting because if you do it too much, it turns it on and off. So just do it slightly. It's quite sensitive. But since you made the config file, you can adjust all of that to your liking. I just built this for you. That's pretty much all you need to know about this lightsaber. Is it's got everything that you added to it. Make sure you push the blade down. It takes a 1-inch blade. Push the blade down and then screw it in to tighten it. And then just to take out the battery, I'll show you that, because with this kind of chassis, it can be a little bit tricky. So let me just take the blade out. 1, 2, and this is the third one. There we go. I'll be shipping this to you with the blade plug and the static emitter on it, and I'll be providing you with the battery as well. There we go, nice and tight. Then we unscrew this bottom part. You can also unscrew this pommel section as well, but I find that unscrewing this is a lot easier than just pull it out. You turn it off. Now, you can't really take it out by hand, is what I found. You could try pushing on the... Whoops, gotta be on camera. I can't find a good way to take it out by hand here. You could be able to push it with this little empty space. But what I do is I take something flat, like the back end of these tweezers. I stick them in between these two, between the chassis and the positive side, and then I just push down, pull out, and then it comes out pretty easily. You can have pretty easy access to the MicroUSD card through the back here, pulling it out. You can also pop the board up a little bit, take it out that way. That's also how you can plug in a MicroUSB in there. You could also have a 90-degree angle. If you need to, if this pops up a little bit too often, I just have a push fit here. If it pops up too often, you can put a dab of like Loctite in the corner there. It'll hold it perfectly fine. Or you could put some Captain tape on there, but Seems to hold really, really well from all of my tests here. That's pretty much everything you need to know about this lightsaber. Nice and simple, nothing too crazy. It's got a really nice config file to it. And look forward to the full in-depth tutorial on how to build a lightsaber using this lightsaber itself. So, hope you enjoy that when it eventually comes out. And in the meantime, I'll be shipping this off to you, and I hope you enjoy this in person. So thank you very much, and hope you enjoy it.